job to ask people and make statistics of people that are registered voters or not, unless they volunteer that, and it's not part of the service structure. You know, like if you had an outside contractor doing a telephone survey, that would be one thing, but this is not.
I can certainly tell that you care a great deal about this.
Oh yes, definitely, because voter fraud is rampant.
Nothing I say is trying to take away from any of that feeling that you have. So I appreciate that. I've tried to get your comments down. Can I, if I may, go back up to the top of the notes that I was taking for you? I just want to make sure that now that we've talked for a moment, I've got those 4 points down. The first point was not every voter registration. I'm sorry, not everyone uses a voter registration card to vote.
Myself use my photo ID.
Okay.
And number 2.
I'm sorry, I've got them listed here for you.
Okay.
The other one, you said this was only posted online.
Correct.
I can only. I would make I'm making an educated guess right now that in terms of additional information, I know it's going to be put on the bus, the bus signage. I think it's called the headers that scroll the electronic signage on the outside of the bus. It's going to be on there on November the 6th, but it wouldn't make sense for it to run before that because it would just be confusing if it ran a few days before that.
Right.
So you're right. Online, it will eventually be on the buses themselves the day of. There are probably some other electronic means in which that information is going to be pushed out, such as email blast or.
But not everyone owns a computer.
Those kind of things. Okay. But your point is well taken. It's all this electronic.
Yeah, it's digital. It's digital divide. That's what it is.
Okay.
And it affects the lower income people of the East Austin community and the Northeast Austin community, because those are your largest county residents in Bexar County without computer ownership. And they're not going to go take time off of work just to go to the library to find out all things Capital Metro. That's not going to happen.
Okay. All right. And then the third one, if someone gets on a bus with a card, the driver may, if you will, memorize or copy down information, and then the driver could use or pass off that information for someone to use.
Correct.
Right. And then the fourth one is that the driver could encourage a passenger to vote a certain way.
Correct.
Okay. And
unjustly influence the outcome of the election.
Okay. I'll put it that way as well.
And I don't have a phone number for you guys to call me back. Hurricane Sandy ripped over my VoIP line, so...
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed the last part. You said you don't have a phone line to call you back, but what was the rest that you just said?
Hurricane Sandy blew through the, Manhattan.
Oh, yeah.
And my phone carrier's in Manhattan.
Sure.
And,
I'm sorry. I hope...
Yeah, so I'm only dialing out with an outbound phone number.
Okay, that's fine. Do you care to leave your name? I don't know. That's entirely up to you.
Yeah, I'll leave my
discussion. I think it was last week. It might have been the week before about the free fare process, and I will pass this on to those that made that decision and see what kind of additional response we can have for you. Okay.
Okay. Do you know who made that decision?
I know who coordinated that decision. That's perhaps the best way I can put it off the top of my head. Dottie Watkins is the one that I believe that was, she's our director of transportation, and she's the one that was sort of getting the question out there to be answered and addressed. But I can't say that she was the final decision maker on it. So I'm going to give her a heads up on this, and then she will be able to consult with whatever group that she was working with.
Okay, and this was a conversation about free fares, okay? So was this a public meeting, or?
No, it was internal, just determining if the agency was going to offer free fares or not.
For the election day?
Correct.
Oh, okay. That's kind of weird, because I thought it should be left up to the public comment calls, at the public meetings and stuff. I thought Capital Metro was trying to be transparent, or said that they were transparent.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not really being transparent if they're meeting in private about free fares. See, I don't know if that's what's legal, too, under 550 of the Texas Government Code, the OTOMA law, the Texas Open Meetings Act, because I thought anything that had to do with fares or bus service like that, or service changes, had to be at that public meeting.
Okay. I'm not as firsthand familiar with that as you might be, so
Okay.
let me see what I can do in the way of getting some answers for you, okay?
Okay.
And the report that our friend that was speaking with you a moment ago was trying to take, that's what's going to end up needing to be recorded here. I've just taken all this on a sheet of paper, and so I'm going to go back to John, and we will create what's called a customer comment or customer call report on this.
Okay.
Okay. So right now it's just handwriting on a tablet sheet of paper, and so that's why I'm trying to get the information down for you, and then I will get someone to have some answers for you. Okay.
Right. I mean, I'm glad that I kind of know who kind of spearheaded it a little bit. I mean, not necessarily, but who was involved, Dottie Watkins, and I don't know what's going to go on from here. I mean, after this, I mean, how soon can this be modified online? Because I mean, I don't see how this is legal right now, how it stands.
Okay. Right now I've got to make some telephone calls and try to figure out what can or will be done, and I don't have that answer for you while we're still engaged in the conversation.
Okay.
Let's see. If you want to try to reach me later today, you're welcome to do that.
Okay.
I can assure you that I'm going to be completely tied up. I've got some back-to-back meetings and then got to throw lunch in after the meeting, so I am not going to be available to take a call probably until after 3:30 or 4 today. So if you want to try to reach me between 4 and 5 today, that would be great.
I'll try, and if not, definitely